Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to discuss about basics of computer architecture and organization. So if you want to know about the computer architecture, so first you should understand what is actually von Neumann architecture. So von Neumann architecture plays the major role in computer architecture because that acts as the basis for the computer design from the earlier days to till date. Even nowadays also, most of the modern computers has been developed with the help of this computer design. So before going to the von Neumann architecture, so I would like to explain about the computer types. Basically, computer has been divided into two types. One is fixed program computer, stored program computer. What is fixed program computer? So in this fixed program computer, the functional units or the functional operations are very specific. It means it can able to perform only the direct operation with a given input and it will produce the result. So for example, calculator comes under fixed program computer. So what the calculator will do, it will get the input and it will directly perform the operations whichever the arithmetical operation most probably, and it will produce the result. So it does not have any thinking capability, or if it cannot able to perform any operation, specific operations on the given input. So we are going to the stored program computer. So in the stored program computer, the operations can be done on the stored program or instructions. So usually we are storing all the instructions or the data in the computer, and afterwards we can able to perform any operations on the stored instructions or the stored data. So that is what stored program computer. So this von Neumann architecture uses this kind of computer, that is stored program computer. So here let us see what are all the components of this von Neumann architecture. So first one is main memory, and in this CPU, and the last one is input output system. So these are all the three components, or we can call it as a subsystem in this architecture. So let us see one by one. First one is main memory. So what is main memory and what is the purpose of using this memory? So usually memory is nothing but the storage device. We can able to store any kind of data, or even the instruction also we can store in main memory. So memory here, when we talk about memory, it categorized into two types. One is main memory, that is primary memory, and another one is secondary memory. So the processor can be directly connected with the main memory, not with the secondary memory. Secondary memory, which is nothing but the disk, or any kind of permanent memory, which is nothing but secondary memory. Processor cannot have the direct access with the secondary memory. It will have the direct access only with the primary memory, that is main memory. Usually we can call it as a RAM, random access memory. And so we can able to store both the programs and data in this main memory. So particularly in this von Neumann architecture, main memory is actually divided into two sections. One section is used to store the program, the other section is used to store data. Program is nothing but set of instructions. So whichever the instruction we can able to perform, all those instructions will be stored in one section, and data, which is nothing but actual data, whatever the values we are using to perform the operation, which are nothing but data. The other name for the data is nothing but operand. So this will be stored in other section of memory. So here in the CPU, it consists of three units. One is registers, control unit, and this one is ALU, that is arithmetic and logical unit. So what is control unit? Control unit, so it will control it will provide the timing signals and the control signals to the other components of this basic computer, that is the main memory and the input output system. In order to execute the instruction, in order to initiate the processor, the control unit will provide all the control signals for executing all the instruction, and also to execute the instruction, whichever the units that has to be enabled, and whichever the units has to be used to perform all those operations. So all those kind of tasks can be done by this control unit. And what is this arithmetical and logical unit? So it will used to perform all the arithmetical operations which are nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also the logical operations such as OR, AND, NAND, XOR, XNOR. So like that many logical operations that are available, and shifting operation has also been done with the help of this unit. So bit shifting is possible in this ALU, arithmetical and logical unit. And what is this registers? So register is also said to be a kind of storage device. And why we have this register? What is the purpose of using this register when we have this main memory? So main memory is also used to store the kind of data or even the program, and why we have register again. So here this particular register has been connected within the processor, within the CPU itself. So it is considered as a one subsystem, consists of 3 units. So in this CPU itself we have the register, but this main memory is not inside the CPU, it is actually connected to the processor. So here the speed of the other units, which are nothing but the control unit and the arithmetical logical unit, so the speed of these 2 units does not get matches with the speed of the main memory unit. So what happens here, the speed may differ in between these 2 units, so it will not produce the result within a particular time. So we have this register in order to reduce the access time of data or instruction. So it can able to sync with the speed of other units that is actually stored inside the processor. So that is the purpose of using this register when we have the main memory. And so in this register, when we talk about register, so we need to see about some of the register or the general purpose register whatever we are using in the computer. So first one is memory address register, MAR. MDR stands for memory data register, and this AC is nothing but accumulator, PC is nothing but program counter, CAR is nothing but current instruction register. So these are all the most commonly used register which are available in the CPU, particularly in von Neumann architecture. Some other registers that are also available, so that we will discuss in the computer register section. So here, so I'll tell you about all these registers now. So what are all the purpose of using these registers? So first one is memory address register. So this register which is used to hold the address of the data which is stored in memory. So as I told, main memory consists of 2 sections. So one has been used to store the program, and the next one is used to store the data. So this is nothing but instruction, and this one is data. Program is nothing but collection of instruction. So here memory will be stored sequentially. So like this, one by one the data or even the instruction will be stored one by one in the memory. So if you look at, the address will be stored sequentially like this. So it will ends according to the size of the memory, it will end up with the location number. So here MAR, that is memory address register, suppose if you want to store the data, and the data which is nothing but 10, and we are storing that particular register in the location 7. So this is actually the address of the data. So what happens here, MAR will hold, this is actually the value which is stored in MAR, and this data value will be stored in MDR. That is memory data register. So this memory address register which is used to hold the address of the data, and this memory data register which is used to hold the actual data in the memory. And what is accumulator? Accumulator is nothing but whichever the instruction we are trying to execute, so we need to store some result. So usually the final result will be stored in the accumulator, and even the intermediate result will also be stored in the accumulator. So initially we will fetch the instruction from the main memory, and that will be stored in the accumulator, that is one of the register, and from that register processor will execute this instruction with the help of other 2 units. What is this program counter? So program counter is the register which is used to store the address of next instruction. So this, if you take this example, this is the address of current instruction, and the next instruction address is 8. So this will be stored in the program counter. So what is the CAR? Current instruction register. currently the processor whatever executing the instruction, that particular instruction will be stored in this instruction register, not address. The whole instruction itself will be stored in this instruction register. So these are all the things we will be having in this register. These are all the main register we will be having in this architecture. And the other component is input output system, which are nothing but input output subsystem, that is the peripheral devices that is actually connected with the processor in order to transfer the data. So through the keyboard we are actually providing the input to the computer, and it will perform all those operations, and finally it will produce the result through the output devices. That is what the peripheral device, or even we can say the input output devices, will be connected with the computer. So what is the bottleneck we are facing in this von Neumann architecture? So in this, it can able to execute only one instruction at a time. So it is simply a overhead we are facing in this von Neumann architecture. To avoid this, we can have the faster components, or even more RAM, or more registers. So by having all these number of register, by increasing all those number of register, or even if you are increasing the size of the memory, we can avoid this bottleneck in this von Neumann architecture. So next one is buses. So we are actually when we talk about the main memory and the register and also the input output system, we need to transfer the data in between these two units with the processor. How we are actually transferring data? With the help of the buses. So buses is one of the topology which is used to transfer the data from one medium to another medium with the help of the connection lines. So all those connection lines here we are calling as a bus. So here in this computer architectural design, that is particularly in this von Neumann architecture, so how many number of buses we are actually following? 3 types of buses are there. One is address bus, and another one is data bus, and the last one is control bus. So what is address bus? So address bus, so simply it will transfer only the address, which is nothing but address bus. If it is transferring only the data, which is nothing but data bus, and if you are transferring any control signals or the timing signals, so that can be done through this control bus. So with the help of the bus structure, how it is actually the structure is available. So in this von Neumann architecture, how the bus structure is implemented with all the 3 components of the basic computer. So let us see that. So here we have the CPU, and this one is actually memory, and this one is I1FS. Simply we have rearranged all the basic components of computer in the way how it is actually connected with these 3 buses: control bus, data bus, address bus. So this address bus is unidirectional, and this data bus is bidirectional, and control bus is unidirectional. So why this data bus is having the bidirectional? Because it can able to send more number of data to and from the memory or to and from the IO devices. But address bus, it can able to send only to the processor from the memory or from the IO device. Like this, we have one is unidirectional, and data bus is bidirectional, and control bus, it is providing only the control signals to all other units from the processor. So it is also said to be unidirectional. So from this you can able to understand this von Neumann architecture easily. So we will see in next video. Thank you.